Hi, everyone. Our next panelists for today's event are stars from the Bad Orphan. Joining us are Betsy Brandt, who is also an executive producer, and her co-star Chloe Coco Chapman.
Oh my gosh. Hi, I'm so excited to see Chloe. Um, Hi, everybody.
Welcome. Our first question is from Elise at the Moment Podcast. Elise, if you could. Oh,
Apologies, I'm here. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to chat with us today. I did want to ask, how was it? I remember seeing this story play out in the headlines. So to be a part of such a real interesting story, it's a very unique story. I don't think there's been another case like it. What, just knowing what you already knew, going into the role, what were you able to kind of pull from just reading the headlines and then getting the script? What made you interested in taking on such a challenge?
I know the story you're referring to, and I was fascinated by that too. This is a fictional story that there are some similar elements, but it's our story is different from the one you're talking about, which I'm very aware of. But and then sorry, was that a question for me or for Chloe?
For either one of you.
I I mean, I was really fascinated by telling the story. For me, it's this woman that, Jessica's pretty buttoned up. Like she's on top of everything. And then the rug feels pulled out from under her. And then it's the spiral and the fallout from that, which was really fascinating. And the script is just good. I'm like, I want to watch that
Yeah.
movie and I want to take that ride. Pretty straightforward.
Thank you. What about for you, Chloe?
Yeah, I agree. When I read the script, it was just good. I was like, well, I was just fascinated because it was a movie script and it was like my first ever movie script and it was my first ever audition. So I was like, this is crazy. And yeah, I was just like fascinated with it. But I know the story you're talking about, and this has elements of that story, but like Betsy said, it's not the exact same thing. But that story is still very interesting.
Yeah.
And this story is very good. The plot twists are very good. It's very captivating. And the script was very fun to like bring to life and to actually act out.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations to you for knocking it out of the park on your first role. This is such a great character to play for the first time. So
Thank you.
that's amazing. And the last question I have for
It's still
either of
fun.
you again. Oh, that's good. Um, how did you said yourself, Betsy, that the character you're playing is kind of buttoned up, and then she kind of goes on this spiral of a ride. So
Yeah.
emotionally and into your body, like how did you kind of come in and out of that? Like what did you have to pull from to go from, when things start kind of that breaking point in the film? So what did you pull from exactly?
I mean, listen, that's part of life is like we all have to, like, everyone's going to get that phone call or whatever it is that
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to deal with, but you have to. So we all get that. That's universal. This, what was fascinating to me about this is, you know, no one believed her. No one
Mm-hmm.
believes her. And so it's the push. And this is a person who really doesn't, take no for an answer. And so and they're both my character and Chloe's character are very strong women. And they end up there's a lot of love between them and that's complicated. And then they're kind of pitting themselves against one another and they're both survivors. And so it was like we went toe to toe. We totally went toe to toe and it was a blast. I will never forget, when we did the table read over Zoom, but Chloe and I were together and we were next to each other on the same camera. And I remember and we had a blast doing the read and it went really well. And I turned to her and I said, "It's really fun to be bad, isn't it?" And I knew we were going to have a great time and we did. As heavy as and crazy as this story could be, we did everything we wanted to do to keep it very real and very grounded because I think it has more impact that way. And we also had a really good time, whether we're supposed to or not. We really did. We had a great time.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate that. Can't wait to watch.
Can't wait for
Thank you, Elise. Our next question is from Abby Bernstein.
Hi, I'm with Assignment X. If I can ask a couple questions, I don't know the true life story everybody's referring to, but is the movie Orphan a good reference for this?
I mean, this is different from the true life story and from Orphan, but it's not like, oh my God, that's like a movie, a Disney movie about bunnies. This is not that. So it's not like it's so far crazy, but there's this is a psychological thriller. So when you say Orphan, it has nothing to do with that, but that's a different movie. But this is a psychological thriller. So if that's what you're interested in, from the movie Orphan, and then you come to this, I think you'll be satisfied.
Ms. Chapman, was it difficult accessing the darker places in you? And Ms. Brandt, I don't know if this is, do you feel like you're at all getting typecast as somebody who thinks that everybody is normal, and then you find out that you're dealing with a bunch of psychotic people?
Um, uh,
As Breaking Bad, where you think that everybody's normal, and then
huh. Um, yeah, I don't really. I Listen, I thought the characters in Breaking Bad were pretty normal. They're just doing some really, really bad things. Um, you know, I think every character, if you play a serial killer, which I have, like you have to love them and they're human, and you like we're always playing people unless you're playing aliens, and that's a different show, which is fun too. But Chloe, I want you to answer what she asked about.
Um, yeah, it was hard because I had an acting coach on set. His name was Tom. He was incredible. He's very funny. We got along very well. But he helped me get to like the darker places, which was really hard, especially like my first ever thing. I was like, because like before I even went to Canada to film or to do anything, like after my audition even because like that script me and my mom were talking, and she was like, "This story is like kind of crazy." She's like, "There's like a lot of emotion in this," and I was like, "Yeah, I know." I was like, "I don't know how I'm gonna do this," and then I got the audition and I went up, and I feel like it wasn't natural because I had to like I don't want to say I had to fight, but I had to like find I guess like the dark place to get in for a few scenes because there's a few scenes where it's like pretty intense and you have to like really get in the moment and get into that like it's honestly you have to get into like the bad place, which like sounds bad, but you kind of do because like that's just how you have to play your character. And Gabby's a character who doesn't have a lot of happy places, unfortunately. A lot of her places are sad. So I had to just think of my like sad places and relate to her in that way. So yeah, it was definitely difficult to get to the bad places, but I
You
think
made it look not difficult, and you're also like, especially for a 17-year-old, I was so amazed with you, Chloe, because you're so comfortable in your own skin. And I think that allowed you to access. We would do this thing where we would say, if we had a tough scene with each other, because we get along very well. I love Chloe. We get along. Like saying goodbye to you was like when you flew home was one of the toughest days on set for me. But we would say, okay, during the scene, we are not friends. We're
yeah,
not, and we go back to being friends as soon as the scene's done. You were like, why are you looking at me like so presumptuous of me to say we're such great friends? But we were like, okay, and we just like no holds bar went into it, and it was great and really, really fun to do, to have a partner like that, especially in something like this. Because sometimes you don't know what's the right fit for those certain moments, because some of them can be so heavy and so dark until you do it.
yeah.
thank you both very much.
Thank you so much. Our next question is from the Cindy Davis Show.
Hi, I'm Dr. Cindy Davis Evans with the Cindy Davis Show. Congratulations, Chloe, on your first role.
Thank you.
I just want to say, What do you think that you would like the audience to take away from the movie? And that question is to both of you.
That's a hard question.
I know. Do you know what huh. I think I would say things aren't always as they seem.
Mm.
Yeah.
And there's a few twists and turns in this that I think we earn in the story, but I think that the audience won't see coming. And I know what's gonna happen. I know the story, and then when I see it, I'm like, oh, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from Miss Conversation Piece.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good. So, without giving too much of the film away, can you describe some of the psychological mind games or manipulations that occur, or some of the like standout scenes from the movie, from the orphan, just switching her whole demeanor with your character?
I think my character, like, it's when she really starts to question herself that I feel is it to me that was fascinating to play, and I think that's really interesting to watch, and then you really don't know what's going to happen, and we all have these moments where you're like, is this is true, right? That happened, that really, whether it's something in the headlines and it's the world, or whether it's your own pocket of the world.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you. Our next question is from Jamie Ruby.
Hi, thanks for talking to us. So Chloe, considering this is your first role that you said, what about working on the movie surprised you the most? And then I guess Betsy, you obviously you've done a lot of things, but are you still surprised by different things?
Chloe, you go.
What surprised me? Oh gosh, I feel like everything. I don't know what I was expecting when I really walked on the set. So before I even left to go film, my mom was like sitting on our couch, like researching like what movie sets were like. So I went into that with like a just like a website, like, oh, always be respectful and stuff. And like I was gonna be anyways, but I felt like it was gonna be more strict than like it actually was. It was much more like fun, which like for this movie is probably, I don't know if that's like the best thing, but like the set, like Betsy and like everyone on set was so fun, and like it was just such a positive like set. I don't know, it was awesome.
We had a
Like when I came home, I was like, this is like that was the best thing I've ever done in my whole life. Like it was insane. I was like, this is crazy. Like I was not expecting that.
I've done a lot of great things and been on a lot of great shows, and this was really fun for me too. It just came together. I mean, but Chloe was amazing on camera, off camera. Mark Taylor, Eve Edwards, our whole cast, Michelle Willette, our director, like we had an amazing team. And then also our crew. So it was really exciting. It's like everybody was showing up and doing really good work. And then like we'd get excited and kind of feed off one another. And it was really fun. It was so much more fun than I thought it would be. I knew it would be good, but we had a really, really great time doing that. And I have to say that surprised me too, because it's not a comedy. It's not a comedy.
It is not.
But it was really fun to do. And I'm also so happy with it. Everyone put everything into it, and we tackled every single scene, and what do we need to do to make this what it needs to be, and the best find the best moments that we can. And that's what we did. And it was really, really, really fun to do.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Our last question is from Malik Davis at the Buzz Boulevard.
Hello, Betsy. Hello, Chloe. So we know, Chloe, you just said this is your first role, and Betsy, we know you've been in the industry for some time now. So what was that relationship like? Did you give her any tips, any was it like a big sister, little sister type of thing when it came to this role?
Listen, I learned a lot from her too. I think we learned from each other. I I had a lot of fun on this project, and I'm also incredibly proud of it. But one of the things that was most thrilling for me is to watch Chloe discover how talented she is and
Right.
how much she loves this. And she was really fantastic. And, a lot of the other cast and crew, because she's 17 and this is, pretty new for her. And man, were we lucky. Like, and I feel like, you know, people knew. They were like, this girl's really smart, really special, and this movie would not have happened without her. Like they could find another me, they could find another, Mark Taylor, they could have found another, but she was so pivotal. And everything you brought to the table, I got to tell you, I was just like continually blown away and to watch you grow. Well, in like the weeks that we were doing this together was really inspiring for me,
Thank you.
especially as someone who I'm not new. I've been doing this for a while and it was really, really fun. And we had a great time.
I really did. I really did. I learned a lot from you. You might not have realized it, but like, at least I tried when I wasn't in school, when I was watching a scene I was not in. I was watching you. I was just like amazed. I was like, you were just brilliant, like the whole time. And you just like every day I would go into set and I was just so excited. I was so excited to see you and I was just like so excited to be there and to see like how those scenes would go that day. Cause I knew I was like, this is gonna be a great day, another great day.
I love that you say that you're gonna make me
So
cry because I love you so much. I feel that way too, and I have been doing this a long time. I'm still that excited every job. Like it's amazing that we get to do this. I love what I do. I love being a part of the magic. And this project had that. I feel like we told this story the way we wanted to tell it, and it was really fun to be such a team.
mhm.
And and it was fun. Sister, I got to tell you, it was fun to go toe to toe with you. And
Mhm.
we had an absolute blast. And it was really good. And there were times I'm like, it was so hard because I love you so much. And there are times where we are just not good to each other on camera. But it was fun to have that. We had a safety net with one another and we could do it. And it means the world to me that you say you learned a lot from watching me. I think that's part of my job too. I
Yeah,
really